Welcome back to the 2015 NAB show. I'm Scott Ellis.
And I'm John P. Super excited. We did a hot swap there of hosts for those of you in the live show right now. And
we get to close it out.
We do. We're going to bring it home.
It's been a good show.
And we've got a strong lineup.
And we're not done yet.
No, we're
got
not.
A few more to go. And we are here, as a matter of fact, with Joel Stoner. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're going to talk to us a little bit about the Studio Suite XI, which is a studio management software, correct?
That's right. Yeah, we call it studio and production management software. It's kind of the business tool of managing a production.
Lord knows we could probably use something like that around here.
Desperately.
Yes, absolutely. So, when you think of putting together a large production, or even if you're a production company or a post house, you've got a bunch of resources that you need to budget, schedule, manage. You want to see those in a calendar. So we've got it set up so that you can define all your clients, all your rooms, all your equipment, all of the services that you provide, along with rates, how much you charge for them and how much it costs you. Those all combine into a budget, converts into a project, flows out to an invoice, but along the way manages your media assets and does the delivery of those as well.
So when you say media assets, you're talking about the actual media itself, though, right?
Yeah,
the videos,
the product's been around for 18 years. So back in the day, it was tapes. Remember those? Tapes and CDs, and now we're managing hard drives and also just files and folders. So there's a whole barcode check-in, check-out from the old days. But essentially, we call a container, whether it's a hard drive or a P2 card or whatever it is, a reel. And on that are all the files. So we can ingest all the files into Studio Suite. So we can search for them even when the cartridge is gone, whatever that may be. And then if it's mounted, click on it to play that file, get right to work on our edit. So we attached the Final Cut or Pro Tools file, whatever it is, right to the project. So we can always get to it. And then when you are finished with your final deliverable, you attach that back, hit the upload via Aspera or FTP or File Catalyst, and it's been delivered to the client. That transfer has been logged, and it's also been sent out as a billable line item to the project, which shows up on the invoice.
Okay, very good.
That's ridiculous, because I didn't even know something like that existed. Okay, everything you just said, we do.
Yep.
And we need.
We do it like 14 different ways. Okay, so I just want to back up for a minute because I'm still back on the whole scheduling and like rate sheets and stuff.
Yep.
So can we go back to the beginning of this process?
Yes.
We have an interesting business in that we produce our own content, and so much of what you just described is just part of our regular workflow.
Yep.
Whether we're billing someone else for it or not, everything you said is things we do. We capture, we ingest, we edit, we upload.
Exactly.
But we also sometimes get requested to make actual video content for other people. And like Callie or myself might host a video, and then the team will produce it, and then we give it to them. So we do bill for that kind of thing.
Sure.
We also have had people who say, well, hey, guess what? You guys have a production studio. Can we rent it, or something?
Exactly.
So am I understanding you correctly that we could, for example, load a rate sheet into the system and say, for example, our studio. We're going to charge $500 a day for our studio.
Yep.
If you want a camera in there, it's going to be another $100 a day.
Exactly.
If you want a light, it's going to be $50 a day.
Yep.
And we have this big catalog.
Yep.
And then somebody could call us up and say, hey, we want to rent your studio. And we say, well, what do you want? We check a few buttons and maybe give them a quote.
Exactly.
You could spit a quote out of the system.
Instantly.
Like a printed quote with letterhead, the whole real nice quote.
It'll make a PDF and email it directly out of Studio Suite.
Okay. So then after that, they say, well, actually, we don't want to rent the studio. We want you guys to actually produce it.
Yep.
And then we have a line item in there. It's $1,000 for us to shoot it. It's like $5 to get John P. to star in it, okay? And
raising your rates
actually,
already.
it's minus $5. You get a discount if you do it. So then we shoot the video. We produce the video.
Yep.
We ingest the raw content into the system.
Yep.
Now, in our case, we have a big NAS server on our property. We can put it on our own NAS, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we ingest it in. We do the edit, and then when we're done, maybe give them a preview version, and then give them a final version, and hit invoice, and it spits out an invoice for them.
That's the story.
Is that right? You're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you. And there's a lot more to it than that, of course.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Would it be a mischaracterization to say that there's inventory management built into this for the studio?
It would
as well?
not at all.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard,
Yep.
and that's something we've combated.
You mean like
continuously?
Yeah, you mean like, for example, we've got a whole bunch of cameras, and we put our cameras in there, and we somehow keep them in inventory?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, he says. Yeah, like, well, yeah, what? No, I didn't know this existed, so, yeah okay.
Well, I think of it kind of like a Rubik's Cube, our software. Every square is a facet of the business, so there's a contact management system that's tied into the rest of it. So for any client, you can see and jump to every project you've ever done with them, every media asset, every communication, every phone call, every invoice, the aging for them. So they call you up and say, hey, remember the thing we did 2 years ago? Yeah, boom, I'm looking at it right now. We want to do it again. Okay, so I'm going to go to that project, duplicate it. It's got all that whole line item structure of the truck and the 3 cameras and the guys and the edit and the music and the audio and the mix and the colorization. All the prices that you charged for them last time and all of your expenses. And therefore, it's also showing the profit loss right away. You duplicate that project, boom, there it is again. Set the due date, the date for starting tomorrow, whenever it is, and you're all ready to go. It's going to also conflict check all of those resources to make sure that you're not double booking the camera, the room, the people.
So we even put our people scheduling is in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm really slow to catch on to this.
It's kind of mind-blowing right now, actually. I didn't know this was out there.
I'm just trying to figure out what things it's not going to do that we need to do. What about contract management? Like, we do contracts and stuff.
So those are legal, and they are different every single time, and you need to have a legal guy look at that. So what we can do is, if you get the lawyer to prepare that, everybody signs it, you scan that as a PDF and attach that to the project.
Okay, so then we've got it permanently in there.
Yep.
Now, you mentioned the integration with Aspera.
Yep.
So we know about them and what they do.
Yep.
Are you integrated with particular channels as far as pushing assets up? Do I take them straight out of the system up into YouTube or Vimeo or something like that?
We are also that. So there's Aspera, and so the way that is if you have an Aspera account, chances are you're delivering to the same couple places fairly regularly. And so you define those within Studio Suite, so whenever you've got a file you need to deliver, you pick one of your destinations you want it to go to, select, Burbank, whatever, send, it's on its way.
Okay.
Then an email comes up, do you want to send an confirmation email with a link? Yes, I do. Do you want to bill for this? Yes, I do. Boom, it's there as a line item. So another really interesting thing that's going on is that it's turning out that Facebook is becoming the new video delivery platform, along with YouTube. So we've now, directly out of Studio Suite, you can upload content to Facebook and YouTube and Wistia. And then on a nightly basis, we're checking the play counts of those
and
videos.
aggregating?
And aggregating and charting. So you come in the next morning and you can say, oh, it's played 8 times on Facebook and 12 times on YouTube. And over the course of a week or month or year, you see that little chart go up like that.
That's nice.
So if we're looking at our little Rubik's Cube of different things you do, analytics is now a part of that as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
How extensive are the analytics?
Very. So there's a ton of reporting on how much did I use this guy last year, how many times did our cameras get used, should we buy another one, or we do have too many cameras, which client is paying us on time, who owes us money, of the available hours within a month, how many did we actually use? All that kind of stuff. So you can see Studio C is not getting used enough. What do we do in there? We do voiceover. Okay, let's go market to voiceover people. You kind of know that in your head, but it's good to see it in black and white.
Absolutely.
Now here's a question for you, because I hear this. First of all, it just sounds amazing. It sounds too good to be true, but I believe you. It's just amazing. So then the next thought is, it also sounds really expensive. Like, you're going to have different sizes of operations.
Right.
We're a small shop, essentially. Then there's some big production facilities, And so how do you handle, like, I have a few questions. First of all, is this software that I buy and run on my own machines?
It is.
In the cloud? Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we handle licensing? Do you have it scalable? So if it's a small shop, it's one price. If it's a big shop, it's another. And
absolutely.
Kind of where does it start?
So there's 3 main versions of the product, and it starts with Studio Suite Solo, which is targeted at students and hobbyists that want to learn this business process, because it is a business after all.
Yeah.
Forget that. It's not pretty pictures. It is, but it's a business. So there's Studio Suite Solo. That's $400. Then the next level up is Studio Suite Pro, and that's designed for like the freelance camera guy or a guy that has a studio in his house that he's doing stuff, but it's really just him. Then there's the network version, and that starts at about $4,000, and then it goes up from there based on how many concurrent users you need. So if you have 5 people or 10 people, then it's, I don't know, $12,000, something like that.
5 people managing the system, or
that are creating data.
Okay.
So if they're editing or creating data, that's a full, what we call seat. We do have some read-only access we call a web glancer, which allows people to view the calendar. They can also log their time into projects. So I'm a freelance cameraman working for you. Joel, go to this website, log the time that you've spent. So I go in, I'm starting, I'm finished, start, finish, start, finished on a couple different projects. That shows up in the project, you hit invoice, out it goes.
But if we have like a sales guy, and then we've got a couple of editors, and a couple of cameramen, you know, that would be 5 right there.
Yep.
That'd be 5 seats.
Yep.
So, okay.
So it's usually, you know, you'd have one, the sales guy would have one, accounting would have one.
Yep.
If there's a scheduler, and then maybe even if you got a IT guy, maintenance guy.
And is the licensing kind of a perpetual, or is it annualized?
Both.
Oh, either way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we offer, you know, it's always been perpetual, and suddenly now everybody's curious about this annual thing or monthly. We don't do monthly, just annual.
Yep.
But you also have to keep in mind that it's a concurrent license. So the camera guy, he's going to log in for 10 minutes, and then he's going to log out.
Yeah.
So it's not buying the maximum number, it's the number that are going to be using it at one time.
That won't need to conflict with one another.
Exactly.
If you had 10 guys, but they're all going to only use it occasionally, then you could maybe get away with one license.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, okay.
And we do have a cloud-based registration server. So if you buy 5 and say, you know what, we're running out of licenses all the time, I need 2 more. We go boom, boom. Next time you log in, you have 7 seats.
And does this run on both a Mac or a PC?
Yeah, so you install this on your server, Mac or PC. Can be accessed by any combination of Macs and PCs and iOS devices, and also through a browser.
So in our own network, do we access it with client software or web-based? Like we have it running on a server in our data center, and then can we just access it with a web interface?
Yeah, you can. So the best method of access currently is using FileMaker Pro. So our application is written on FileMaker, which gives a number of advantages. Mainly it's user customizable. But so to access it, you install FileMaker Pro on the clients, starting with this latest release we did in September, which is Studio Suite XI. You can access it through a browser. Since it's our first release, we're calling it kind of a beta. It works, but the next one's going to be better. I shouldn't say that, but it's, of course, true.
You'll just add, it'll be more special.
Always getting better.
It'll be even more special.
Even better. So yeah, you can access it a bunch of different ways.
Cool.
Very good.
That sounds awesome. I'd like to take a look at it.
Definitely.
I don't know how we could, you know, it seems like the kind of thing that you need to adopt the whole thing and just change your whole life with, you know?
Absolutely. So there's a trial.
You don't just dip your toes in the water with that one. You just jump in.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But to answer your question of how you get it, studiosuite.com, of course.
Of course.
But getting into it is a little bit difficult because it's so multi-dimensional that some people go, this is too scary. So we provide quick start training, a bunch of other trainings. There's a ton of videos on our site about, you know, how do you do equipment management? How do you import your contacts? How do I book a project? How do I do a budget? That's all there. And of course it comes with a nice 600-page PDF that a lot of people love to just read in their spare time.
Carry it around with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, good
stuff. Sounds like this could really tame things around the studio for us a little bit.
It might. We're all over the place. Joel, thank you so much for coming and sharing all the good info with us. You guys, thank you for sticking around and watching all of our continuing coverage here at NAB Show 2015. We've got more coming, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.